This is the one thing a narcissist would always do to get out of a tight spot. I hope everyone is doing great today, and welcome to another video. Well, I've been planning to cover today's topic for a long now, but I just couldn't get started. You've reached a stage in your connection or relationship with this narcissist where you fully realized that they're not normal individuals and that their behavior is indicative of narcissistic personality disorder. When the narcissist does anything that would typically provoke an immediate reaction from you, you give them that knowing smile and look that says, "Not this time, not anymore." I've learned to recognize your tricks and games. After doing something that they know will really grate on your nerves, the narcissist will wait for you to react before exploding with wrath at being caught. Once you do that, they appear shocked and hurt by your disgusting and nasty actions. Narcissists are notoriously self-absorbed. They tend to start conversations, use lies to influence their loved ones, and manipulate others for financial gain. Even if you take every precaution to avoid being manipulated by dishonest people, they may still find a way to draw you in. How, after all, do they manage to do that? Is it possible to escape a narcissist's influence? If a narcissist is unable to manipulate you, what does he or she do? Narcissists frequently provide invalidation for their destructive and self-centered actions. This is a common tactic employed by toxic people, particularly narcissists, in order to deflect responsibility for their actions. Narcissists commonly employ the use of guilt as a weapon to keep their victims from speaking up in their defense or questioning their decisions. They are professionals in deflecting responsibility and minimizing their own involvement in a crisis. By carefully choosing their words and phrases, narcissists might look honest or even hilarious. The first thing I want to challenge is the assumption that everyone does it. Even though narcissists may think highly of themselves, they value connections and relationships, since doing so helps them keep up their facade. They can claim they were joking or that it's standard practice to attempt and explain away their dishonesty. What's the big deal if everyone lies occasionally? They all enjoy porn, spread rumors, lie, and cheat. Everyone here is self-centered, envious, and rude. They justify their behavior by claiming to be typical citizens going about their daily lives. There is no indication that their participation has altered the group in any way. The narcissist wants you to believe this so that you will feel sympathetic toward them and be less likely to criticize or condemn them, but the narcissist is not genuinely convinced of this. They will see you as pretentious and self-important if you try to set yourself out from the pack by acting differently. Being around a narcissist may drive anyone insane. After that, narcissists will use the word or phrase "no one," most notably the expression "no one is spotless," to relieve themselves of blame. This is just another oversimplification designed to make you look foolish for assuming they'll act in a moral manner. Despite the narcissist's defense that everyone makes mistakes when asked about their own, it is essential to address the narcissist's shortcomings and learn from them. Whenever a narcissist starts classifying themselves in the same category as the rest of us, it's time to cut relations with them. When I try to get a narcissist to own up to their mistakes, they start begging me to understand that they aren't flawless and take pity on them. You aren't trying to hurt them, but they know that even though you aren't flawless, their comments will hurt you. Since no one could have reasonably expected perfection, the objective isn't to make us feel bad about pointing out a defect, but rather to gaslight us into giving up and apologizing anyhow. Narcissists have mastered the art of making their actions appear interchangeable. This is essential for fostering the belief that everyone is a narcissist. Narcissists and those who sympathize with them are not the types to admit fault without first blaming an external factor. They'll try to get you acquainted with everyone, even if you don't know a single one of them personally. To be completely honest, I don't think there's another group of people on Earth as sick, timid, and self-centered as narcissists. Some people still exist in our world. They are the ones who tell the truth, who love unconditionally, who do not make lying a habit, and who recognize their own shortcomings and are willing to make amends. The narcissist's need for approval is satisfied when he or she thinks that other individuals share his or her traits. They could fit in to avoid being recognized or stick out to get acceptance. This occurs as soon as it is practical for them. Don't give a narcissist the satisfaction of employing one of these phrases in an argument with you. Consider this a red flag that the person in question is likely to be dishonest and manipulative. If the narcissist starts talking about how they want to be liked by everyone or nobody, you should end the conversation. My sincere hope is that you have learned something new and found my explanations to be illuminating. Do you have any thoughts? What do you think? Tell us in the comments. If you think this video will be enjoyable, please share it with your friends and give it a thumbs up in advance. I really truly hope the video was helpful to you in some way. Your attention and reply are much appreciated. Narcissists will stop at nothing to ruin your life, no matter what you do, because they're simply evil. Here's the proof. When considering the actions of narcissists and other egocentric people, it's important to understand what drives them. Many of us struggle to understand why narcissists behave the way they do. Narcissists are incredibly annoying, as anyone who has ever dealt with or even known one will attest. Narcissism is a complex topic, so before we go on to the next section, let's get acquainted with it by examining its definition and historical development. Narcissistic personality disorder, NPD, is characterized by a person's inability to empathize with others, their own exaggerated sense of self-importance, and their obsession with seeking and receiving praise and adoration. People close to a person with this illness may step forward to help in a variety of ways. What's the point of living in a world where narcissists are a constant nuisance? Narcissism is a genuine and persistent mental illness caused by early life adversity and trauma. Narcissism may have its roots in an overprotective and unstructured upbringing if you or someone you know has a history of it. Young narcissists' minds are often too fragile to handle much stress. Perhaps they were overindulged as children, or perhaps they were held to exceptionally high standards, but maybe they have a good reason for their behavior. Without a shadow of a question, narcissists are capable of unspeakable cruelty, and they frequently direct their wrath at those closest to them in order to drive home how much they loathe themselves. Narcissists can be swayed to trust you or overlook your defects if you shower them with enough love and attention. While a narcissist may initially see your strengths as attractive, they may reject you after they discover your flaws. When a narcissist finds out you're not perfect, they stop caring about you and could even treat you badly. Here are just 6 instances where narcissists have been cruel. Let's give it a look and see what we can learn. Number 1. The will to succeed, no matter the cost, is central to the narcissist's worldview. There is no middle ground in narcissistic thought. Either everything is perfect, or it is severely flawed. Narcissists frequently fantasize about attaining their ideals of fame, wealth, and physical attractiveness. The individuals around them, especially those who have been successful in acquiring what they seek, are the intended targets of their jealousy. They mistakenly believe that your success is their fault. However, it's also possible that they fail to seize an opportunity to win your approval and are, therefore, envious of someone else's success. You can waste your time trying to convince a narcissist of anything since they will ignore your arguments. The narcissist doesn't care if they make you feel bad by competing with you. They do it because they find it enjoyable. They don't know what to do with themselves. One's outward demeanor reflects their inner state of having nothing to lose. Your loved ones will be the first to celebrate your achievements. Flipping the script is an ability unique to narcissists. Narcissists won't be there to share in your joy at your achievements. Instead, they'll look for ways to poke holes in what you've worked so hard to improve. To put it simply, they will do whatever they can to thwart your progress. Narcissists are easily identified by a second defining characteristic, an inbuilt propensity for superiority complexes. Even though they continuously feel inferior, they convince themselves that they are superior and better than others. Narcissists often verbally abuse, criticize, embarrass, and even physically assault their victims, in addition to boasting and exaggerating their achievements. Narcissists often put on airs of superiority in a bid to win over and exert power over others. In contrast, narcissists often look up to and even revere others they perceive to be selflessly helpful or heroic. Contrarily, a narcissist has little regard for everyone but themselves. People who aren't in the limelight are seen by narcissists as helpless weaklings who merit the narcissist's scorn since they're not better. Narcissists persuade themselves they are superior to other people, which is a lie, in order to justify their intolerance. Narcissists typically hold grandiose opinions of themselves and believe they are superior to everyone else. The narcissist will always feel entitled to your cruelty and will never admit it. That you're fascinating or helpful to them could play a role. Third, narcissists aren't very good at taking criticism. Narcissists have difficulty accepting constructive criticism. Believe in yourself and your ability to grow as a result of constructive criticism, and that's how much of a difference you'll make. Though they may not show it, narcissists take criticism very seriously. When narcissists get criticism, they often lose control and cry. The nature of the criticism makes no difference. They tend to be easily offended by even mild criticism. You'll have to admit defeat and accept they were correct. They'll take things to the next level if you keep criticizing them without taking any responsibility for your own actions. They'll keep on pushing until you give in to their demands. They will go to war with you if they cannot coerce you to do as they wish. It may be fruitless to try to help a narcissist learn from an experience if they react negatively to criticism. Keep in mind that they are entirely preoccupied with themselves and that any criticism will just make them more hostile. How can you avoid interacting with someone who is preoccupied with himself or herself? Number 4. Narcissists have a hard time forgiving themselves. Narcissists are typically motivated by a deep-seated hatred of who they are rather than self-love. However, the abused party is traditionally the one to extend forgiveness to the abuser. The process of forgiving oneself can be extremely painful for narcissists. One of the ways people deal with grief is by avoiding thinking about or talking about the loss. Details like these may be irrelevant to their feeling of self-worth, so they may choose to ignore them or add them to their secret stash. A narcissist probably won't be able to discern the difference. When you know what to look for in a narcissist, their fake veneer crumbles. Being soulless, they are unable to feel compassion for themselves or others. Pride prevents narcissists from letting go of grudges, thus they have little interest in extending mercy to those who have wronged them. Due to their obsession with taking in other people's negative energy, they will never let up on their attempts to cause harm. In number 5, narcissists live in a fantasy world they've created for themselves. Narcissists have an undeniable magnetic appeal. They know just how to make the reader feel empathy for the main character by giving them a painful history of mistreatment. I admire their boldness and initiative. If we have a low opinion of ourselves, we are more likely to buy into the advertising. They would like us to believe that they are the only ones who can renew our strength and give us a reason to live. In fiction, heroes and villains who are narcissists or otherwise self-absorbed can be fascinating. Personal narratives of amazing deeds of bravery, selflessness, and accomplishment will captivate you. You can see how different things were back then if you give it some thought now. Their seemingly simple lives belie the fact that they are blinded by their own delusions. This facilitates the easy dismissal or justification of opposing viewpoints. The narcissist goes into defensive, even hostile, mode when his or her carefully built worldview is threatened. People around them will avoid them at all costs because of their refusal to acknowledge reality. Finally, narcissists have trouble empathizing with those in their immediate vicinity. This explains why narcissists lack empathy. They're heartless and unable to empathize with others. Their insensitivity originates and innate incapacity to empathize. Narcissists and other self-absorbed individuals lack empathy. As a result, they start early on to become unhealthy and overly self-absorbed. They have everything they could possibly want from their parents, and as adults, they don't seem very concerned with the issues confronting their peers. Attempting to help a narcissist get over a shortcoming in their development is not your job. You've realized that you were used as a stepping stone for their own ego, and that you shouldn't have expected the same level of empathy from them as you would from a normal person. Narcissists' egocentric tendencies prevent them from experiencing empathy. Because it goes against their nature to prioritize the sentiments of others, they won't try to empathize with you. It may seem wise to give up to the narcissist's harsh manner and demands to avoid the narcissist's rages and coldness. Avoid fooling yourself into thinking that will resolve the issue. You must accept the narcissist as they already exist, not as you would like them to develop. Stop making excuses for your harmful actions and ignoring their effects. Living in denial won't assist a narcissist who is famously hard to alter. The true test is whether or not you can keep up such a lifestyle without becoming conceited. Pay attention to what you're doing at the moment. By increasing your understanding of narcissistic personality disorder, you may be better able to recognize and avoid harmful relationships while also increasing your capacity to create and maintain healthy ones. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, please subscribe, like, comment, and turn on push notifications. If you learned something from this video, please consider checking out some of my previous uploads. Thanks. The nasty truth about narcissists and the things they desperately hide from you. Narcissists hide many truths. Generally, what they are really trying to hide is the shame that they feel deep down. They don't want to or can't bear to experience the distressing feelings that accompany shame. In order to conceal their true identities, they create and meticulously maintain a mask. Their entire plan relies on keeping their genuine identities under wraps in order to maintain the appearance they've cultivated. They have to put on an act of learned conduct, of cognitive empathy as opposed to emotional or compassionate empathy, to cover up their inability to feel for and love others. Love for them is a show, a script they have to memorize and execute at just the correct moments so that their partner doesn't see through to the emptiness that lies under the surface. I'm going to spill the beans on some of a narcissist's deepest, darkest secrets in this video. Watch till the end to find out what they are. Everyone, happy to have you back around again. I hope things are going well for you right now. In light of this, I decided to film a movie in which I expose some of the tactics a toxic or narcissistic person might employ in the hopes that you would help them achieve their goals. As an added bonus, I will expose the worst-kept secrets of narcissists in this video. However, you were already aware of this. It is well known that narcissists tend to keep their thoughts and feelings to themselves. They may know something but be unable to tell you, or they may be hiding something from you. An initial realization is that narcissists are prescient enough to know that any relationship with them is doomed to fail. So, in the beginning of a relationship, they will be completely enamored with you and start to treat you like an angel. The narcissist knows they can't save the other from the inevitable end of their relationship. They realize you can't keep enabling their bad behavior. Therefore, if they believe they may avoid punishment, they will not commit the act. They understand that their behavior has negative consequences. They're being dishonest with you because they know they shouldn't be, and they don't want to face the repercussions themselves. This is why they don't want you to know. They don't want you to discover those behaviors, because if you did, you'd leave. Remember that desertion is their breaking point. There is a logic behind their objection to your departure. The narcissist's primary motivation is to maintain contact with you for as long as possible in order to keep receiving the love, approval, and admiration they crave from you. As long as you're emotionally able to, they want you to serve as their slave. For this reason, they will make an effort to cover their tracks. The problem cannot be solved by simply watching people's behavior. It's important to go into the backstory of those activities for clues about what's really going on. So they're trying to keep going, despite their misgivings, in the hopes of avoiding abandonment. In order to prevent your loss, you can feel their frantic grasp on you. Therefore, they can keep you around only if you are kept in the dark about the truth. Even though narcissists know it's unacceptable, they need many relationships and confirmation from other people. They've apparently learned the hard way that keeping such information to oneself is frowned upon. What I mean is that they know it's not right to partake in harmful social behaviors, like having a lot of sexual partners or having extended discussions with lots of people. They know you won't stand for any kind of inappropriate behavior on your accounts or with your privileges if you find out about it. This explains why maintaining anonymity is crucial to them. However, they need it because they are unacknowledged fantasists who crave approval. In the beginning of the relationship, they tell you, yes, we're going to be together, even if they know it won't continue forever. As far as resources go, we'll have them all right here. Everything will work out wonderfully, gloriously. They know it won't last, though, because you'll soon figure out who they really are. Narcissists also don't want you to know about the agony they've been avoiding. People who lack confidence typically hide their dark emotions, such as melancholy or anxiety. This is how they feel, but they don't want you to know it since it would make them too vulnerable, which is something they desperately want to avoid. If you knew that, they wouldn't be able to form a genuine, meaningful, and profound connection with you. Narcissists expect you to play an important part in their lives. They may benefit from talking to someone or seeing a therapist to help them work through the feelings of hopelessness and possibly suicidal thoughts they are having. And can you imagine how emotionally draining it would be if you felt you had to constantly prove yourself and your loyalty to someone? It is a lot of work. There should be no pressure in a healthy relationship for either partner to continuously show their worth. It is not necessary to demonstrate your undying commitment to this person. You understand the potential value of demonstrating your availability to them. Every couple goes through that at some point. While some partners may be more demonstrative of their love than others, individuals in touch with their internal worlds will always know when they are loved, no matter how their partner chooses to show it. You can feel the love of those that care about you. Analysis has an unhealthy need for reassurance because in their minds, they are continuously straying away from it. Therefore, you shouldn't have to keep repeating yourself. They are on the fence about whether or not they want me. Rather than seeing these setbacks as a sign of failure, they view them as potential means of evading their current social status. The narcissist is thrilled by the presence of other people because in their eyes, they are all bright and shiny and brand new. That's why they keep doing bad things over and over again. One of two things can happen. You get weary of delivering it to them, or they stop caring. Always keep in mind that their actions are typically based on whims and impulses. The result is that they feel restless emotionally. That need for instant fulfillment dictates their every move. The mood among them is low. Therefore, this needs to be finished right away. So, people need a reliable resource that can always make them feel good about themselves. It's going to drain you further as they keep asking. Therefore, it's not something you should give to narcissists. As a result, they will go elsewhere to find it. Individual narcissists have different motivating factors, such as pursuit of wealth, gratification in sexual encounters, social standing, or power in the workplace. Narcissists derive their power from their insatiable want for admiration and attention, which they generate in a number of ways. However, the narcissists who are draining you are reluctant to accept that this is what they need. They know you'll crumble under the pressure at some point. A narcissist's opinion of you being superior to them is the last thing they would ever want you to know. This explains why they are always striving to outdo you, because they are asking themselves, why do I have to be this way? They are terrible with money. What imperative justifies this happening? If you don't feel this way, why should I? That's because you lack my life experiences, while I find great value in hearing about yours. So, I plan to destroy what you have made. There's a debt of gratitude that requires me to steal from you. That's why there's jealousy and a power imbalance. In order to feel better about themselves, narcissists will try to diminish your value. That's just how narcissists are. I've never met one who didn't act this way. However, narcissists want not just to sap your energy, but also to destroy all you hold dear. They actively seek you out in the hopes of benefiting from your upbeat energy. Many people are relying on you to fill a need in their lives. It's almost as if they're looking for a long-lost parent inside of you, but you know that can't possibly be the case. They are aimless and have no plan for the future. They don't know who they are. They don't have a solid concept of who they are, thus they act and behave in uncharacteristic ways. It's like a human was sliced in half. When you stop to consider it, you see that they have no notion of identity or bodily experience. On some levels, narcissists are oblivious to this, but on others, they are acutely aware of it. If you knew this, if you knew everything that was going on, you would run away immediately. It's still very similar to my previous claims. A narcissist is aware that they will eventually have to let you go. They make you think that things are going to keep on this way forever. However, the final decision rests with you. Do you intend to keep enjoying this? in the future? What do you want to accomplish? Consequently, much needs to be thought about. Since these things call for introspection on the part of the speaker, a narcissist is not the person to go to for them. You should prepare for the possibility of infidelity. It's possible to feel like you have to constantly prove yourself if they're the type to get furious, dispute with you, or put you down. Narcissists have an unreasonable demand for others to cater to their every whim. They can't be content unless they have it, and they want it continuously. Understanding what is going on and why these people are acting this way is, therefore, crucial. How do you feel about that, by the way? They can't sufficiently articulate themselves in English, therefore you'll never learn these secrets from them. Finding out what's going on is crucial. Do you want to take it? Do you plan to continue acting this way? Do you plan to do something about it? Have you got anything that could help? Don't feel obligated to save them. It's not your job. Those types never develop for the better. Once they don't get what they want from you, expect them to become more hostile. Eliminating their access to food and water will cause them to leave. You can count on them to ditch you. Our relationship makes it seem that way, but I actually don't feel that way towards you. So, dear friends, think about what you really want out of life and choose accordingly. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this,